Welcome back, scholars. We are on the subject of subjects and predicates today. Haha, the subject of subjects. What are subjects and predicates? Well, every sentence has both a subject and predicate. Let's take a look at their definitions. Subject is the who or what that's doing the action of the verb. The predicate is the action or condition of the subject, i.e. the verb. Now, first off, not super helpful definitions, right? But let me point out that they are defined in relationship to each other. The subject definition refers to the verb or the predicate. The predicate definition refers to the subject. They make sense in relationship to each other. So just like different parts of speech can be, or different words can be different parts of speech depending on where they are in the sentence, words that are sometimes subject can also be predicate and vice versa depending on where they are in a sentence. So basic need to know here, the predicate's actually generally easier to find first because the predicate is the verb and everything that comes after. Generally speaking, the verb is the first word of the predicate. We're going to take a look at an exception to that, and there are lots of exceptions, but generally speaking, the verb is the first word of the predicate. And then we can find the subject by asking ourselves who or what is doing that verb action. Let's take a look at some examples to see. So, sentences. I really like grammar. What's my first verb here? My verb is like. Who likes grammar? I like grammar. So here's already an exception where I said that my verb should be the first word in my sentence, in my predicate. It's not in this case because my adverb is describing the verb. And so I draw a line, a slash, to separate subjects from predicates. And that's where I'm going to draw this one here. You scared me. We've got the verb scared, and who is scaring? You did the scaring. So that's my subject. There's my predicate. Remember, subject, everything that comes before the verb, predicate, everything that comes after. A subject is not always just one word long. Let's take a look here. That book is amazing. You should recognize is as a verb that doesn't look like a verb, a linking verb, in this case, state of being verb. What is amazing? That book is amazing. So here's my complete subject, here's my complete predicate. Our next three sentences are, remember these guys, imperative sentences. And so they don't have an obvious subject, they have an implied subject. So who should take out their books here? Remember that it's you should take out your books. And you, please stop talking. And you go outside now. It doesn't say those words directly, but it implies them. That's why they're implied subjects. Now that means I'm starting with the verb here, take. And so my subject predicate split is right here. You is subject, take out your books is predicate. And same thing here, you please stop talking. Where again, notice that I have please is not technically a verb there. You go outside now. Again, subject, predicate. These are called complete subject, complete predicate, where I'm dividing the entire sentence into either subject or predicate. However, we also can talk about simple subjects and simple predicates. And the simple subject is the one word, who or what. The simple predicate, and my apologies because I only wrote predicate here, but the simple predicate is just the words of the verb or verb phrase. So notice that the simple subject is in general going to be one word. Of course there are exceptions to that, but in general one word. The simple predicate is going to be the verb or verb phrase, which means if I have a verb phrase, it's going to be more than one word, and that's okay for the simple predicate. Again, let's take a look. We can divide up our sentences here again, and I don't want to do too many because I want to actually show you how we're looking at this, but these are my first two that I had here. I really like grammar. Like was my verb, right? We denote that that's the simple predicate with two underlines. Who really likes grammar? I really like grammar. I is my simple subject. Scared is my verb in my second sentence. That gets two underlines. Who scared? You scared. One underline under my one word subject. Those are pretty easy because I only had one word in my complete subject anyway. What happens if I have more than one word? Let's look at the third sentence. That book is amazing. Is my verb. There's my complete subject, complete predicate. And what is amazing? Well, book is the most important word here, right? So that is going to get one underline. In general, I'm going to have nouns or pronouns as subjects, and of course that in that book you should recognize as an adjective. Now, I said simple subject, one word, who or what. If I had more than one thing in here, like that book and that movie are amazing, then I have what's called a compound subject, and I can have more than one word underlined as my simple subject. That's the next video lesson though, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just take a look at imperative sentences here, and remember that we said complete subject, complete predicate, because of course I have that implied subject over here. The implied subject is also the simple subject, and so take is the verb here. You, simple subject, take, simple predicate. You don't need to watch me do the rest of the sentences because I'm sure you've got a great idea of what you're doing, so you can give it your own shot now. Let me know if you've got any questions. Good luck, scholars!